To a wonderful evening.
Indeed. Cheers.
Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you.
I need your help, and it's about my daddy.
Tell me everything.
I don't know if I should.
Please, it's important.
Can I sit with you?
Of course.
You're different. Everyone's scared of my father. You're not scared.
You're angry.
Frank Shin, that's my daddy. I'm Nikki.
I think she's trying to hurt him.
He doesn't believe me because I'm just a kid.
Will you help?
Why me?
Because you're the only person who's not afraid. And I'm good at reading people. You're here for a reason. You want something from my daddy.
Tell me everything.
Rachel Marron stood at the edge of a glittering gala in Tokyo's most exclusive hotel ballroom. 32 years old, South African, dark brown skin with warm undertones, natural hair an elegant twist-out styled into an updo, sharp, intelligent eyes, burgundy evening gown, every inch the successful international businesswoman. But she wasn't there for business. She was there for revenge. Across the ballroom, surrounded by intimidated guests and bodyguards, Frank Shin, Korean mafia boss, 40 years old, sharp features, cold eyes, expensive suit. The man Rachel had been hunting for 3 years. The man she believed had killed her father. Rachel's hand tightened around her champagne glass. 3 years of investigation. 3 years of building her tech company as a cover. 3 years of waiting for this moment. An invitation to this gala. Access to his world. A chance to destroy him from the inside. A small voice interrupted her focus. "Excuse me, can I sit with you?" Rachel looked down. A child, 9 years old, Korean. Long dark hair in neat braids, expensive dress, holding a plate of untouched food. Every other guest had ignored the girl or shooed her away. Rachel's anger softened slightly. Of course. The girl sat, looked up with serious eyes too old for her age. "You're different. Everyone else here is scared of my father. You're not scared. You're angry." Rachel froze. "Your father?" The girl pointed across the ballroom. "Frank Shin, that's my daddy. I'm Nikki." Rachel's breath caught. The mafia boss's daughter. Sitting with her. Trusting her. "I need your help," Nikki whispered. "My daddy's fiancée, Portia, is putting something bad in his tea every morning. I think she's trying to hurt him. I told him, but he doesn't believe me because I'm just a kid. Will you help?" Rachel looked at this child, the daughter of her enemy, asking for help to save the man Rachel came to destroy. She should walk away, stick to her plan. But something in Nikki's eyes. "Why me?" Rachel asked. "Because you're the only person in this room who's not afraid, and I'm good at reading people. You're here for a reason. You want something from my daddy. Maybe we can help each other." This 9-year-old was far too perceptive. Rachel made a decision. Tell me everything. Subscribe right now because this story has more layers than you think. A South African businesswoman hunting a Korean mafia boss for revenge. A 9-year-old who knows more than she should. A fiancé poisoning her future husband. And a conspiracy bigger than anyone realizes. Hit that notification bell. This is about deception, shifting allegiances, and discovering the truth isn't what you thought. Let's go back to how Rachel got here. Johannesburg, South Africa. Rachel's father, David Marron, was a successful businessman with international connections. He'd been investigating Korean organized crime's expansion into African markets. Then he was killed. Car bomb. Official report, business dispute. But Rachel found evidence in his office. Encrypted files, photographs, meeting notes, all pointing to one name, Frank Shin, the Korean mafia boss who ordered the hit. Or so Rachel believed. She spent 3 years building her own tech investment company as cover, learning everything about Frank Shin, waiting for an opportunity to get close, to gather evidence, to destroy him the way he'd destroyed her family. This Tokyo Gala, a networking event for international business and crime families masquerading as legitimate, was her chance. But meeting Nikki changed everything. Back in her Tokyo hotel room after the gala, Rachel called her business partner Stephen Woods in Johannesburg. "I made contact," she said, "but there's a complication." "What kind?" "His 9-year-old daughter asked me for help. Says the fiancé is poisoning him." "And you care because?" "I don't, but the kid is smart, really smart. She knows I'm there for a reason. If I help her, I get access to the house. Inside his operation. Better than I planned." "You're using a child?" "The child came to me. I'm just adapting my strategy." "Be careful, Rachel. Mafia bosses don't take kindly to strangers getting close to their kids." Rachel hung up, looked at herself in the mirror, reminded herself, "Frank Shin killed your father. Don't forget that. Don't let a smart kid or a poison plot distract you. This was just a better way in." 2 days later, she arrived at the location, a small cafe near Shibuya. Nikki was there with an older woman Rachel recognized from the gala, the housekeeper. "This is Mrs. Tanaka," Nikki said. "She's been with our family since I was born. She knows Daddy needs help but can't prove it either. I told her you might be able to." Mrs. Tanaka studied Rachel. "Why would a South African businesswoman care about our household?" "I care about children being ignored when they report danger," Rachel lied smoothly. "And I have resources, laboratory connections. If Portia is poisoning him, I can prove it." "What do you want in return?" "Access. I go undercover as new housemaid, investigate from inside. If I prove the poison, he deals with Portia. That's all." It wasn't all, but they didn't need to know that. Mrs. Tanaka and Nikki exchanged looks. The child nodded. "1-week trial," Mrs. Tanaka said. "If Mr. Shin discovers you're not really a maid, I lose my job and you lose your life. Understand?" Understood. Rachel went undercover as Lerato Dlamini, South African immigrant looking for housemaid work in Tokyo. Mrs. Tanaka hired her. Stephen Woods back in Johannesburg provided fake documentation and references. Day 1 at the Shin estate. The house was a fortress. Modern Japanese architecture. Security everywhere. Staff terrified of Frank Shin. Rachel's real mission? Find evidence linking Frank to her father's death. The poison investigation was just her cover. But she had to play it carefully. Observe everything. The household. Frank Shin, rarely home. When present, cold and commanding. Widower for 6 years. Nikki's mother died when she was 3. Devoted to his daughter in his own distant way, but didn't know how to be warm. Built walls after his wife's death. Portia Choi, Frank's fiancée of 2 years. Beautiful. Charming to outsiders. Sweet to Nikki when Frank was watching. Cold to the child when he wasn't. Always in the kitchen for morning tea preparation. Always alone. Nikki Shin, 9 years old. Isolated. Homeschooled. Lonely. Desperate for her father's attention. Frighteningly perceptive. Watching everyone. Trusting no one except Mrs. Tanaka and now Rachel. Hajun Shin, Frank's younger brother. 35. Charming. Friendly. Visited the estate frequently. Seemed to care about Nikki more than Frank did. Rachel noted, potential ally or potential threat? Week 1. Rachel observed. Portia's morning routine. Every day, 6 a.m., she prepared Frank's special herbal tea. Alone in the kitchen, nobody else allowed. She claimed it was a traditional Korean blend for health. Rachel watched through a crack in the door. Saw Portia add something from a small vial to the tea. Something that wasn't herbs. That evening, Rachel collected the empty teacup after Frank left for work. Scraped residue into a sample container. Sent it via express courier to a lab contact in Johannesburg Stephen had arranged. But while investigating the poison, Rachel also searched Frank's office, looking for the evidence she really wanted. Proof he ordered her father's death. She found files, encrypted, financial records. She photographed everything with her phone, sent them to Stephen to decrypt. 2 investigations running simultaneously. The poison plot everyone knew about, and her secret revenge mission no one knew about. Week 2. The lab results came back. Stephen called. The tea sample contains aconite, plant-based poison, slow-acting, accumulates in the body, eventually causes heart failure that looks natural, untraceable unless you know to look for it. How long has he been drinking it? Based on the concentration, months, maybe a year. He's probably experiencing symptoms already: fatigue, irregular heartbeat, weakness. He'd attribute it to stress or age. Rachel had her proof. Portia was definitely poisoning Frank. But she also had news from the encrypted files. The financial records, Stephen said. They show regular payments to someone in Johannesburg 3 years ago, right around when your father died. To who? I'm still decrypting, but Rachel, these payments didn't come from Frank. They came from someone else in the organization. I think Frank might not have ordered the hit. Rachel's world tilted. What? I need more time to confirm, but if I'm right, you've been targeting the wrong person. Before Rachel could process this, Nikki appeared in her room. Did you get the results? The girl asked. Rachel looked at this too smart 9-year-old. You knew I was testing the tea. Of course, that's why I brought you here. Did you find the poison? Yes, aconite. It's killing him slowly. Then we need to tell him. He won't believe it, not without more proof. And if we accuse Portia now, she'll deny it. We need to catch her in the act. I can help with that, Nikki said. I know things. Things adults don't notice because they think I'm just a kid. Like what? Like Uncle Hajun visits Portia when Daddy's not home. Like they have secret meetings in the garden. Like she's not just doing this alone. Rachel's blood ran cold. Your uncle is involved? I don't know for sure, but something's wrong. I can feel it. This 9-year-old's instincts were better than most trained investigators. Week 3. Rachel's mission became complicated. She was supposed to hate Frank Shin. He killed her father. Except maybe he didn't. She was supposed to stay detached. This was just an investigation. Except Nikki was growing attached to her, and Rachel was growing attached to Nikki. She watched Frank with his daughter, distant but trying, awkward but caring. A widower who'd built walls to protect himself from more loss. Not the monster she'd imagined. One evening, Frank found Rachel reading to Nikki before bed. He stood in the doorway watching. She likes you, he said after Nikki fell asleep. She's a good kid, very smart. Too smart, it worries me. He stepped into the room. She said you're from South Africa, Johannesburg? Yes, sir. What brought you to Tokyo? Opportunity, better pay than home. You're educated, I can tell. Why housemaid work? Rachel kept her voice steady. Sometimes life doesn't go as planned. You take what's available. Frank studied her. You're not what you seem. I haven't figured out what yet, but I will. He left. Rachel's heart pounded. He was suspicious. She needed to move faster. Week 4. Everything accelerated. Stephen called with devastating news. I decrypted the files. Rachel, your father's death. The payment came from Hajun Shin, Frank's brother, not Frank. What? Hajun ordered the hit. He's been embezzling from the organization for years. Your father discovered it during his investigation. Hajun had him killed before he could report it. And he framed Frank by making the payment trail point back to him. Rachel sat down. 4 years of hunting the wrong man. There's more, Stephen said. Hajun and Portia are working together. I found communications between them. She's not poisoning Frank out of jealousy. Hajun convinced her to do it. If Frank dies, Hajun takes over the organization, and Portia gets paid a fortune. Rachel's entire world reoriented. Frank wasn't the villain. He was the victim. Of his brother. Of his fiancée. Of her. And she'd come here to destroy him. Before she could process this, chaos erupted. Gunshots in the garden. Rachel ran outside, found Frank in the garden under attack. 3 armed men. Professional hit. Security was responding but too slow. Frank was pinned down, wounded, bleeding from his shoulder. Rachel didn't think, grabbed a garden tool, heavy metal rake, swung it at the nearest attacker, connected with his head. He went down. Frank stared at her. "What are you? Stay down!" She fought with a desperation born of guilt. This was her fault. She'd been so focused on her secret investigation, she'd missed the real danger. Stephen's decryption had revealed Haijun was planning to move soon. The assassination was tonight. More security arrived. The attackers fled. 1 dead, 2 escaped. Frank was injured but alive. He looked at Rachel, this housemaid who'd just fought off trained killers. "Who are you really?" "Someone who needs to tell you everything." In Frank's office, with his doctor treating his wound and security posted outside, Rachel confessed. All of it. Her real identity, Rachel Marron, South African businesswoman. Her father's death. Her 4-year hunt for revenge. Her belief that Frank had ordered the hit. Her plan to infiltrate and destroy him. And the truth she'd just learned. Haijun killed her father. Portia was poisoning him under Haijun's orders. The assassination attempt was Haijun's move to take over. Frank listened to everything, his face unreadable. When she finished, silence. Then, "Where is my daughter?" "Safe. Miss Tanaka has her in the secure room." "You came here to destroy me. Why are you telling me this? Why did you save me?" "Because I was wrong. About you. About everything. And because Nikki trusts me. I won't betray that. Even if it means you kill me for infiltrating your house." Frank was quiet for a long moment. "Show me the evidence. All of it." Rachel pulled out her phone, showed him everything. The poison lab results, the decrypted financial records, the communications between Haijun and Portia, the proof. Frank's face darkened as he read. "My own brother. I'm sorry." "For what?" "For spending 4 years hating you for something you didn't do. You didn't know. You were seeking justice for your father. I understand that." He looked at her. "Thank you for saving my life, and for telling me the truth. What happens now?" "Now I deal with my brother and my fiancé, and then you and I are going to have a longer conversation about why you're still here instead of running." "Nikki," Rachel said simply. "I can't leave her until I know she's safe." Something shifted in Frank's eyes. "Then stay, until this is over." The confrontation happened the next day. Frank called a family meeting. Portia and Haijun both came to the estate, unsuspecting. In Frank's office, with security present and Rachel watching from the corner, Frank presented the evidence. "Portia, the poison you've been putting in my tea for 18 months. Portia's face went white. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Aconite. Slow acting. Untraceable unless you know to test for it. Lab confirmed it. Sample from yesterday's tea." Frank turned to Haijun. "And you, my brother, embezzling from the family for how long? 5 years? 6? Killing people who discovered it, including a South African businessman named David Marron." Haijun's expression didn't change. "You have no proof." "I have all the proof. Financial records, communications, payment trails, all of it." "Provided by who? Your housemaid?" Haijun laughed. "You're going to trust some woman who infiltrated your house over your own brother?" "I trust evidence, and my daughter's instincts. Nikki told me months ago something was wrong. I should have listened." Haijun's face hardened. "If you move against me, you'll regret it." "You already tried that, last night. The assassination failed. So did your plan." Frank looked at both of them. "You're done, both of you. Portia, you're leaving this house in 1 hour. If I ever see you again, you won't walk away. Haijun, you have 24 hours to disappear. After that, I'm reporting everything to the other families. They'll deal with you themselves." "You can't. I can. And if you even think about touching my daughter or anyone in this household, including Rachel, I will personally ensure your death is slow." Security escorted them both out, Portia crying, Haijun silent and furious. When they were gone, Frank sat heavily. It's done. Rachel approached carefully. Are you okay? My brother tried to kill me. My fiancé poisoned me. No, I'm not okay. But I'm alive. Thanks to you and my daughter. What will you do now? Recover. Restructure the organization. Be a better father to Nikki. He looked at her. And figure out what to do about you. I'll leave. I've caused enough. Nikki will be devastated if you leave. She's gotten attached. Honestly, so have I. Rachel's breath caught. What? You came here to destroy me. Instead, you saved me. You're fierce, intelligent, brave. You fought for my daughter. You told me the truth when you could have run. Those aren't qualities I find often. Frank, I'm not asking you to stay forever, but stay until things settle. Let Nikki have some stability. And let me get to know the real you. Not the housemaid, not the revenge seeker. Just Rachel. Rachel looked at this man, the one she'd hated for years, who turned out to be nothing like she'd imagined. Okay, I'll stay. 3 weeks passed. Rachel remained at the estate, not as a maid anymore, as a guest, as Nikki's tutor, as Frank's something. They were figuring it out. Frank recovered from the poison, reorganized his operations, cut ties with people loyal to Hajun, built something cleaner. Nikki flourished with Rachel's attention. The lonely girl became happier, lighter, more like a real 9-year-old. And Frank opened up, slowly. He talked about his late wife, his grief, his walls, his fear of losing anyone else he cared about. Rachel talked about her father, her grief, her misguided revenge, her guilt. They healed together. One evening, on the garden terrace where she'd saved his life, Frank said, I need to tell you something. What? I'm falling for you. I don't know how it happened or when, but somewhere between you fighting off assassins and reading to my daughter, I fell. And I don't know what to do about it because you have a life in Johannesburg, a company, a home, and I can't ask you to give that up. Rachel's heart pounded. What if I wanted to? What? Steven's been running the company without me for a month. We're opening a Tokyo office. I was always planning to split my time. What if I spent more time here, with you, with Nikki? You'd do that? I came here for revenge and found a family instead. That's worth more than anything I left behind. Frank kissed her, gentle, tentative, full of hope. 4 months later, Rachel split her time between Johannesburg and Tokyo, built her company's Asia expansion, became part of Nikki's life, became part of Frank's life. She was sitting in the garden when Nikki ran out. Rachel, guess what? What? Daddy said you're moving here full time. Is it true? Rachel smiled. It's true. I signed the lease on an apartment yesterday. Not an apartment. Here. With us. Daddy's asking you properly tonight, but I wanted to tell you first because I can't wait. Nikki, slow down. He's going to ask you to move in. And maybe later, other things. But first moving in. Do you want to? Please say yes. I want you here. Rachel's eyes filled. This 9-year-old who'd changed everything. Yes, I want that too. That evening, Frank asked properly, over dinner, with Nikki grinning at both of them. Move in with us. Be part of this family. We both want you here. Rachel said yes, not because of revenge, not because of obligation, but because somewhere in the chaos of murder plots and poison and conspiracies, she'd found what she didn't know she was looking for. A child who needed her. A man who loved her. A family. She'd come to Tokyo to destroy Frank Shen. Instead, she'd saved him. And he'd saved her right back. 6 months after moving in. Rachel woke up to Nikki jumping on the bed. Rachel, it's Saturday. You promised we'd go to the museum. Frank groaned from his side of the bed. Too early, Nikki. It's 9 a.m., Daddy. That's not early. Rachel laughed. Come on, museum time. They spent the day as a family. Museum, lunch, park, normal things. That evening, putting Nikki to bed, knew you were good. That's why I asked for Daddy. Not the poison, something else. But I also knew you were good. That's why I asked for help. Rachel stared. You knew? I told you, I'm good at reading people. You were angry at Daddy, but not mean, just hurt. I thought if you spent time with us, you'd see he wasn't bad. Was I right? This frighteningly perceptive child. Yes, you were right. Good. Now you're here forever, right? Forever. Promise? Promise. Nikki hugged her, fell asleep happy. Rachel joined Frank in the living room. He pulled her close. Thank you, he said. For what? For sitting with her that night, for staying, for giving us a chance. Thank you for being nothing like I expected. They sat together. The South African woman who came for revenge, and the Korean mafia boss who gave her a family instead. Sometimes the best endings are the ones you never saw coming. She came to Tokyo to destroy him. Spent 4 years hunting him for revenge. Went undercover in his house to gather evidence to take him down. His 9-year-old daughter asked her to sit. Whispered about poison. Changed everything. This is what happens when revenge leads to truth. When the enemy you hunted turns out to be innocent. When a child's trust teaches you who the real villains are. She discovered his fiancé was poisoning him. His brother had killed her father and framed him. Everything she believed was wrong. She saved his life, told him the truth. And somehow, in the middle of conspiracy and murder plots, they fell in love. Now she lives in Tokyo, part of his family, loving his daughter, building something real from something that started as hate. Subscribe for stories about revenge that becomes redemption, hate that becomes love, plans that get destroyed by truth, families that form in unexpected ways. Comment below. Could you forgive someone you hated if you learned the truth? Would you choose love over revenge? What would you do for a child's safety? Share this with someone who believes in second chances, that wrong assumptions can be corrected, that family isn't always blood, that sometimes the person you came to destroy becomes the person you can't live without. I'll see you in the next one.